How's everybody doing? Justin Watches Movies here. Today we're going to do our second Q&A of the year, where I open up personally about my life. It's the only real way to connect with fans is to let them know personal things about their life. I know this was supposed to be uploaded on the 20th, but getting personal, I'm a little bit lazy. I have my computer here where I'm going to read the questions because I'm filming with my phone. So we're going to read the questions, we're going to do some shout outs, we're going to have some fun with this, and we're going to talk about some of the questions. I'm going to answer them. There's a lot of questions here. I did one previously in the beginning of the year, and I only got like 6 questions. I felt a little distraught, but this one has a lot of questions. So we're going to get started with this one here. We're going to start with the first question here with Reboot Productions. Reboot Productions asked the question, what's your favorite movie of the year so far? And I'm going to have to go with Wind River. Wind River was terrific. It was chilling. Great movie. BRoot00 said, I love your collection behind you. Thank you. I love putting it together. I'm a new subscriber from Big Dude. Thank you for subscribing. Do you have a t-shirt collection too? What is your thought on Daniel Craig being paid $150 million to do another James Bond movie after he initially stated that he would rather slit his wrist than do another James Bond movie? I do have some of a t-shirt collection. They're mostly like cartoons and movies and stuff. When I was younger in high school, I used to have so many t-shirts. And then I started to work and I dressed more appropriately. So I got rid of the t-shirts, but now I'm kind of bringing them back. So I try to switch up the t-shirts and everything. I really like this one here. This is Haunted Mansion, but it's like Star Wars. It's got like the 3 Force Ghosts. It's pretty cool. James Bond, Daniel Craig. I really like Daniel Craig as James Bond, but I really want someone that would love to be James Bond. I don't want someone playing James Bond and have it be like it's his job and he has to just do it. I want someone that would love to play it. I want someone to put a lot of energy into it, not someone that wants to be paid so much and rather slit their wrist. I don't want someone that wants to slit their wrist to play James Bond. I want someone that genuinely wants to play James Bond. But I'm excited to see Daniel Craig once again, but after that we'll see what happens. Xavier, the movie fanatic, said, what is your most anticipated film of the year? Obviously it's Star Wars, but I was really thinking that It is probably my second most anticipated movie of the year for the rest of the year. He also asked Step Brothers or Talladega Nights. Step Brothers, but Talladega Nights is funny as well. He also asked, do you like Rick and Morty? And I have never watched that, but I would like to watch it at one point. Bob Brown said, what are some of your favorite foreign films? I really liked City of God. That is a great foreign film. He also asked, what are some films that you feel are underappreciated or receive too much negative response than it needs? There were some films, one film that I laughed so much at, and that's Bucky Larson. I understand the hate, but I think it should not have like a 0%. I laughed so much at the movie, but I understand where people are coming from when people say it is a horrible film. I understand that. In your opinion, what is your favorite trilogy of movies? I have 2 favorite trilogies. I have Star Wars, the original trilogy, and the Before trilogy directed by Richard Linklater. Both great trilogies. And he also asked, what's a film that seems to be a mess on paper that actually turned out to be great? That's an interesting question. What is a film that turns out to be a mess on paper that actually was great? Now I'm thinking about it. I'm looking at some of my Funko Pops here. Rocky Horror Picture Show would seem like a really bizarre idea on paper. With all the dance sequences and the music and just the characters, it seems like it's such a crazy idea and really could be like a mess when you're reading it, but it turned out to be a terrific film and one of my all-time favorite films. What is a franchise or property of old you would love to return to the silver screen? Return to the silver screen, geez. I wouldn't mind seeing like the Flintstones, like a new live adaptation, or like the Jetsons, or bringing back like the Looney Tunes into the movies with like Space Jam, something like that. Maybe some older cartoons and seeing how they would do like with live adaptations, because I really like the Flintstones, the John Goodman film growing up, so I would like to see something like that be brought back. He also asked, what is your opinion on the recent influx in girl power or hella diverse films and shows? Is there a line when it becomes too shoehorned in for you? I really do appreciate all the diversity and all the girl power. I really loved Wonder Woman, Moonlight last year. Those were diverse and girl power films. And if it's not like a film that you're just completely focusing on, if you don't acknowledge it and just be a film, that's okay. But if you're having a film where everything has to be about, you know, diversity or girl power and all that, and that's your main focus of the film, and you're distracted by that from telling a good story and having awesome characters and having a good film, then that's when it becomes an issue. But if you don't really acknowledge it and just have a film, just film a movie, just be about the movie, not about the issue or what you're doing, then it's okay. I mean, I really appreciate all the films. Obviously, Wonder Woman was great. Moonlight was my second favorite film of last year. But if you focus completely on one thing, then it takes away from everything else that could be a great film. So thank you for your questions, Bob Brown. Thank you for your questions, Xavier Movie Fanatic, Brew00, and Reboot Productions. So far, those are the questions. Coming up next, Rich Reviews. I remember Rich Reviews had binge watched every single one of my videos, and I read every single one of your comments, dude. I appreciate it all. He has 6 questions here, so let's get first question. Do you think theaters will eventually disappear? Unfortunately, I think at one point, yes. With all the digital media nowadays, I do think that movie theaters will eventually disappear, and I'll have a tear in my eye and hate in my heart because I love theaters. If there's a biopic made about you, your life, who should play you? I asked my wife this, and we came up with some people. She said Jake Gyllenhaal. I said Ryan Gosling because I just really like Ryan Gosling, but I'm not that attractive, so I don't think they could be playing me. She said Taron Egerton would be good too, so just a couple people like that would be, you know, good picks, all great actors. Worst theater you have ever been to? I haven't really been to like a disgusting theater, but there was a theater about 20 minutes away from my house it's in a bad location, and there's been times where people have gotten in fights in the theater. People have shouted on phones at the theater. I went one time to see Sinister, and someone was in the back yelling on his phone, telling the person that they are not a zoo animal and they will not be treated like a zoo animal. And I was like, what the heck is going on? People yell. I mean, people are brought in backpacks. That I get really suspicious. Something happened in my life where I'm very cautious about people behind me, and so I'm very cautious about going into the theater. So when people bring in backpacks or, you know, look very suspicious, that's when it becomes a really bad theater experience. But this one theater, very bad location, it's the AMC, it's got the nice recliners, but people just treat that theater like crap, and I don't really go there because of the people that usually attend it. Have you ever, and would you ever attend San Diego Comic-Con? I would love to attend one day. Just don't have the funds right now, but would love to go there. Best and worst honest trailer. I honestly do not watch much of the best and worst honest trailers, but it's funny to watch a big blockbuster film and try for and see them try to rip on the movie. Those are funny, and worst honest trailers would be about a movie I really love and they rip on it, and I really don't want to watch that. What is a TV show that everybody loves and you don't, and vice versa? I really love Power Rangers, and not a lot of people really love Power Rangers. I really love like watching just everything about Power Rangers, and so that probably is a show that not a lot of people do like, that I do. I also cannot get into 30 Rock, and a lot of people love 30 Rock. My wife loves to watch 30 Rock, and I just cannot get into that show whatsoever. I have not also watched Game of Thrones. I can't really get into The Walking Dead. I've watched the first 2 episodes of Breaking Bad about 10 times trying to get into that show, and I just cannot get past those 2 episodes. I know I should really sit down and just continue watching it, but I just can't. So thank you, Rich Reviews, for your questions and your loyal viewership on my channel. Next up is movie reviews and rankings by Reese. Top questions. My questions: top 5 superhero characters: Spider-Man, Captain America, Batman. I really like Superman as well, and probably Wonder Woman, or maybe like Falcon. Those are some really good superhero characters. I also like the Daredevil. I also like Punisher. So those are some just for you. Thank you for the question. He also has, will DC catch up to Marvel? No, they will not, unless they have a clear path where they want to go with their movies, and they do not. What's a movie you hate but everyone loves? What's a movie I hate that everyone loves? I didn't really like Spotlight. That's one I didn't really like. I don't hate it, but I just did not see the love that it got for that movie and winning the Oscar. What is a movie that you like that but everybody hates? I really like Tarzan, Legend of Tarzan, and not a lot of people like that movie, surprisingly. I really like that movie. It was good. Indiana Jones or Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars, always, always, always will be Star Wars, but Indiana Jones is good. Are you excited for Incredibles 2? Yes, I am. I will be front in line to see that movie. So thank you, movie reviews and rankings by Reese, for your questions. Next up, Triggered. Where'd you get the awesome shirt you were wearing in that video? I think it was the Nickelodeon one, if I'm correct. Mostly get my shirts at Walmart. So I got that one at Walmart for like $7. How many movies do you watch a day a week? I always go to the movie, and I always go to the movie theaters about twice a week, maybe 3-4 times, and I watch about 3 or 4 movies at home, so about maybe 10 a week, less depending on the week. During the summer, a lot more because I'm not working. During the school year, a lot less. Using your smartphone while watching a movie or no? Theater, no. Home, it's okay. Especially if you've already seen the movie and you just want to watch something and you want to play on your phone, that's okay. But if you're watching a movie that you don't know nothing about and you really want to watch it, probably not smart to play on your cell phone. Because I remember in college watching critically acclaimed films and playing on my phone and computer and like, this is a dumb film. Probably because I wasn't paying attention. So, and the last question for him, best movie watching snacks and drinks. I love drinking Sprite at the movie theater, and popcorn is good. I don't buy popcorn and candy and soda every time I go to the movie theater because I would be broke because I go so much. But also like those chocolate covered raisins are really good at the movie theater. So thank you, Triggered, for your questions. Mike Rock Movie Reviews says, what was the first movie you saw in theaters? I remember going to see Toy Story when I was younger around the holidays. This movie theater is now a Krispy Kreme Donuts. And I remember going with my mom and her boyfriend at the time, which is now my stepdad. So we saw Toy Story. And I remember seeing Titanic in theaters and rolling around on the floor because it was so long. So thank you, Mike Rock Movie Reviews, for your question. Next up is Dumpling Skin. Okay, Dumpling Skin. What upcoming movies are you most excited about? And will you review the anime film A Silent Voice? I heard it's get a US screening in October. Most movies I'm excited for, I said Star Wars and It, but I'm also excited for Kingsman. I'm also excited for Lego Ninjago, Justice League, Happy Death Day, Murder on Orient Express, Coco, Daddy's Home 2. Those are some films that come to mind that I'm excited for. And I would love to review the anime film A Silent Voice. I think it's online right now, so I'll probably be watching it soon. So thank you, Dumpling Skin, for your question, and I love your channel name. Next up is Fleeg74, and this guy has come to my videos ever since I can remember. And he has a question that I had to Google, and I had it. He said, why do boogers taste so salty? And we're gonna get scientific with this. Why are boogers so salty? Boogers get their stickiness from what they're made of, which is mostly water, protein, and salt, and other things that occur naturally in your body. It gives your body natural salt that gives your boogers their distinct flavor. And also, they're fun to just roll around in your fingers. So that's why they taste so salty, because of the protein, the water, and the salt all mixtured down into the boogers, and they come out. And then, you had the question, why they taste so salty? So probably because you ate one before and you want to know why. So next up is Tilvia Smoka. I'm sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong, but I know who you are, man. We've talked before. We've done videos before. Are you looking forward to Defenders coming out later this year? What is your opinion on the upcoming Death of Superman animated movie coming out in 2018, getting a part 1 and part 2 in 2019? Defenders, I have not watched it. I have not watched Daredevil Season 2. I have not watched rest of Jessica Jones. I watched half of it. I've not watched Luke Cage. I have not watched Man with Iron Fist. So I'm not going to watch Defenders until I finish those. Until I finish those, I'll watch Defenders. I really would love to watch all those before The Punisher comes out, though. Death of Superman, I have not heard much about it, but it'd be awesome to get a two-parter because I really like the Dark Knight Returns two-parter animated film. So why not? Let's see what they can do. Strickland says, have you seen my movie Fist Fight? And so And if so, what's your thoughts? Hello, Mr. Strickland. Nice to hear from you. I have seen your movie, Fist Fight. It is a very good movie. It's very funny. I do think you interact really well with Charlie Day. Thank you for coming to my channel, Mr. Strickland. Sylvia Smoka once again asks, are you excited for the upcoming Doctor Doom movie? Because frankly, in my opinion, I feel the Doctor Doom movie is completely unnecessary. No, I don't want to see it. It's unnecessary unless you do another Fantastic Four and then you do Doctor Doom later down the road. Don't want to see Doctor Doom just first. I just watched says, what's your mic, what's your setup? Camera, mic, lighting, and thanks in advance. I just watched. I film my videos on my Samsung Galaxy Note 5, I think it is. I'm currently saving up to get like a big, huge HD camera. I have some LS Photo Pro Studio lights, one here and one here, that shine the light on me to make my face all beautiful. I used to have the lights on, the headlights from the room. I turned those off so I can get more like clear lights because it would just make it too bright and grainy back here. Mic setup, I bought this little mic here that attaches through my phone. This was 20 bucks. It's an Insignia product at Best Buy. Just cheap little thing. I really like it. People say it's not the best, but I enjoy it much more than just my clear voice. So phone, Insignia mic, and two LS Studio Pro photo lights. They're big ones that kind of open up and shine the light on me. Next up is Rad Movie Guy. Said my favorite horror movie is Texas Chainsaw: The Beginning. What are some of your favorite underrated horror films? I really enjoyed watching the Texas Chainsaw movie. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the reboot Michael Bay one, and I really enjoyed The Beginning as well. Underappreciated ones or underrated ones, Sinister is really great. I feel like Sinister is not really talked about much. Ghost Ship, I really loved watching Ghost Ship as a kid. That's not talked about much either. So those are just a couple that come to mind. Thank you, Rad Movie Guy, for your question. Angel Movie and Marvel Maniac asks, movie you hate but everyone likes. Like I said, Spotlight. I really can't think of anything else right now. I really can't get into Alien. Yeah, I really can't get into the Alien movies. Sorry, guys. Movie you love but everybody hates. I really like Star Wars Episode 3. I love Star Wars Episode 3. It's pretty good. Favorite franchise, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Toy Story, you know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Those are great. Movie by your favorite director. My favorite director is probably Richard Linklater. Nicholas Winding Refn. My favorite by him would be Drive. My favorite movies by Richard Linklater would be the Before trilogy. Would you do a Blu-ray collection? I would consider doing it later down the road this year. Thank you, Angel Movie and Marvel Maniac, for the questions and always commenting on my channel. You are one of the few people that always do it. Next up is Sir Ty Jensen. Are you excited for Defenders? I'm excited to watch it later on the road, but I have not watched much yet to get to that point. Have you seen Stranger Things? I checked your Netflix playlist to see if you reviewed it. I have watched Stranger Things, and I'm going to review it in October before the new one comes out, so stick tuned for a review for that. Thank you for your question, Sir Ty Jensen, and being a loyal subscriber to my channel. Next up, Star Wars Fan 03. Is mayonnaise an instrument? If you can play mayonnaise with your fingers, I'm sure it's an instrument. Do fish get thirsty? I wonder that. They might get thirsty when they're out of water to get back into the water. Best and worst movie of the year so far. Wind River is the best. Worst would be probably the Emoji Movie or Nut Job 2, maybe. We'll see. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your favorite color of the alphabet? On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say my favorite color of the alphabet would be purple, and about a 2. Of course you are a great person to your heart. Of course you are a great person to your heart, and for you a little more time in you. Yeah, time in you. Yeah, I would agree. Are we real? Are we real? I've thought about that. What if we're on another planet in a little container and someone's feeding us thoughts, and we're making out our life just how we want them. And I made Star Wars Fan 03 write that question so I can answer that question. And Star Wars Fan 03 is just from my imagination. I don't know. If all your friends were named Cliff, would you jump off of them? Maybe. Where's my super suit? It's in the laundry. We washed it. Where do you usually get posters? Small ones from like AMC and Regal. Bigger ones I buy. See people give them to me. Sometimes I buy them. Sometimes I buy them from Walmart. Why so serious? Because. Just because. Johnny Nitro says, what are some of your favorite YouTubers that you really enjoy working with? I recently met up with Almost Sideways. Adam is a great guy, and I love working with him on some videos. And I've loved working with 22 Tiger Dude for a longest time, for years to come. We actually got a video coming out soon together. I love working with 22 Tiger Dude. I loved working with Tyler Tompkins and Elsie's Screen Talk. They were on my channel recently last year for some Halloween reviews, so they are great people to work with as well. And the last question comes from Shattuck, the review guy. Says, when it comes to joining partnerships for advanced screening, for those who are new, what would your advice be for people who want to do this full-time YouTube and other companies? All right, I'll put this down for this one. I say this question for the last one. I spent on YouTube for 5 years, and during those 5 years, this has not been a full-time job, and I could not live off of being YouTube for these 5 years. If my channel grows tremendously in years, maybe I would consider it, but right now I would never ever consider living off of YouTube money because I've only made $200 in the last 5 years. It wasn't until July of last year I started to monetize my videos, so between July and now I've made $200, not enough to live on. I was approached by Hotchka at a screening. I asked them, some questions, and I started to talk with them a little, and then they asked that they needed a writer for Seattle, and I agreed, and so then they said you can be part of the screenings. So I would say, just maybe talk to people, I guess. It's hard to kind of talk to people when you don't know who to talk to. But if you ever attend a screening, just ask the person, say, hey, how can I get on the press list? And they'll most likely lead you somewhere in a direction that you would talk to. There's certain requirements, I guess. There wasn't a requirement when I did it, but I've seen people who have smaller channels than I do be press screeners for movies. So just talk to people, message people on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, wherever it may be. If you ever get advanced screenings, look at that company that does that advanced screening and then message them and see how you can get more screenings. But if you look at my channel, I have 3,230 subscribers, I think, so far, and I would never consider having YouTube be a full-time job right now. I mean, if I had like 500,000 million subscribers, maybe, but right now, no, I do not have the funds, and I would be broke and I would be on the streets if I just did this. So I hope that helps a little. If you want to message me, we can talk a little more. But thank you guys for all these questions. Definitely check out all these channels that had these questions. I will try to do one more Q&A before the end of the year. Thank you everybody who asked questions down below. You made this a very fun and successful Q&A. Remember to hit that subscribe button and notification bell down below. It gets all my videos first right when I upload them. You guys are the best as always. This is Just Watch Movies, and you stay classy, YouTube.